right, left, right, left, right, left.
I've wanted to fly since I've been a small kid. Always have. You see, airplanes fascinate me. And I like the army, so I thought an army pilot's a job for me.
It's something I've set out to do now. Originally I didn't join the army originally to fly, but once I was in the Army Air Corps, I actually had my heart set on flying.
It's just come to a point I don't seem to be achieving anything anymore, so I want a way forwards, and a way forwards, to my mind, was this, so I have to give it a go.
This is the story of Pilots Course 354. It's the story of 10 soldiers with one ambition, to fly helicopters for the army. They've all passed rigorous selection tests to get this far. Now they have a year to earn their wings. It'll be the most demanding year of their lives.
Every single one of you will have a hurdle on this pilot's course.
Right front row. Put your heels together underneath the chairs. And fists essentially in stand.
I'd love to. Totally blind. You move that tree, I think.
Right in my hair's in a complete mess.
Into the lens. Thanks very much.
Good morning, 354 Army Pilots Course, and welcome to the Chipmunk Squadron here at Middle Wallop. My name is Troern, and I'm the Chief Pilot. You've now got some 6.5 weeks to achieve 31 hours flying time with us. Approximately 15 hours of general handling, 10 hours of navigation, and some 5 hours of instrument flying. I see 10 happy smiling faces. I sincerely hope in 6.5 weeks' time, when I've done your final handling tests, there'll be 10 happy smiling faces still, and that you progress on to eventually achieve your Army pilot's wings.
Before they can start flying helicopters, Course 354 have to learn basic airmanship skills. This they do in Chipmunks, fixed-wing planes built in the 1950s. At this stage, they're taught by retired RAF pilots who've clocked up thousands of hours in the air. Lieutenant Jenny Firth is the only woman on the course. She starts with an early advantage because she already has a civilian pilot's license on fixed-wing planes.
Ever since I can remember, I've always had an attraction for flying. The additional plane, if you like, the third dimension, you can be up in the air, whilst everybody else is confined to the streets, walking around or in cars or what have you, but you can be up there going over the traffic jams and flying around.
Jenny may enjoy an easy ride now, but her advantage will disappear when she moves onto helicopters. Corporal Mark Hitch has no previous flying experience, except the 13 hours he did on selection.
Yeah, I'm at Alpha. All right. Do you have that loose now, do you, sir?
No. Although he works in the Air Corps as a ground crewman, he's used to servicing aircraft, not flying them.
I've done 6 years on the ground side now with the Army Air Corps, cleaning, refuelling, and also doing leak checks on startups. But now it's actually come on to the time when a ground crewman's going to come out and do the leak check for me, and it's going to be me taking off and flying away.
Fuel on, brakes on, throttle close, switches off.
Fuel on, brakes on, throttle close, switches off.
I mean, I've often wondered, especially when I was younger, Christ, why can't it be me in there? Why can't I ever got that?
Mark knows he only just made it through selection with a borderline pass. Now he has to prove he's really worth his place on the course.
It's going to be a hard year. Up until 365 days away. That's you working. You've not passed. It's always over you. You've got to keep working and keep working until the end of the course, until you've got the wings on your chest.
Very good. Right down the middle. And we're looking for 17.
Brakes off, flaps up, and engine within limitation.
Just a little too high nose attitude, I think. They don't actually start coming until you've got to 70 knots. Get your wings level. 70 knots.
The next to take off is Second Lieutenant Andy James. At 21, he's the youngest member of the course, and like Mark Hitch, he hadn't flown before selection.
I never really knew anything about the Army Air Corps until I went to my liaison officer at school, and he said, "Oh, you like to do fun things and jumping up and down, so why didn't you look at the Army Air Corps or something like that?" And so for the last 2-3 years, I've basically been set on getting to Sandhurst, passing out of Sandhurst, still sponsored by the Air Corps, and then getting on my pilot's course.
I want you to get into the way of moving your head around all the time. You know those puppets that you see on Thunderbird? You know how they sort of sit there nodding their heads or moving their head around? Yes, sir. I want you to do that, okay? Right.
Are you confident?
Yeah, have to be. Because if you're not, then you're going to get out there and the first thing that goes wrong, you're going to start flapping about. And too many people panic. In Ireland, you come back in and people say, "I'm so stressed." And you say, "Why are you stressed?" So it's terrible, I've got so much to do. And if you start thinking like that, then everything piles up and it goes badly.
So you don't panic?
Well, we'll see. I try not to. It's very rare that I have a flap, but I might do.
Oh, that's a bit much, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, full power. And climb back. What did you do wrong there? I have control.
You have control.
You whammed the stick forward instead of in a brutal, licentious, soldierly right way. What? I just want, all we need to do is just to lower the nose enough to install the wings. Okay?
Right, sir.
None of this brutality. Right, I'll just do a quick check around and you can have another go at that.
I apologise to the chipmunk.
It is 40 years old, so okay, you have control.
I have control.
Straight from there, go. Now when you throttle back, every time you throttle back, your right foot has got to...
Every new pilot must be able to recover their plane from a stall.
Sir?
It's an important safety maneuver, but it's not an easy one, as Andy's discovering.
Full power. Full, come on.
I'm full.
No, I have control.
You have control, sir.
What do you think about that one then?
Was so I push it forward in another brutal and
Well, you didn't push it forward enough on that occasion.
I didn't.
And because when the wing dropped, you tried to pick the wing up with aileron, which is not
Dangerous,
allowed.
yeah.
Okay?
1012-036. 0360 departing to the south.
Meanwhile, Mark Hitch is about to be shown just what the Chipmunk can do.
And then when you're ready, we're going to enter the climb. So checks for the climb.
Fuel contents left is full, contents right is full, mixture fully rich, and the carb air to cold.
Carb air cold.
Engine T's and P's within limits. The generator warning.
A good look around now. Left and right over the top. And away we go.
You go down to loop, straight up into the top, turn it over, back over into loop, turn it over, and then carry on, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
How was your landing?
All right.
Did you bounce it in?
No, I was cracking myself like because he comes in and he's going, it's not too high, too high, and it went bang, and he just stayed there. I thought, oh.
You got away with it.
By the end of the day, Course 354 have safely completed their first flights. Now they go their separate ways.
I'm eating chinchilla.
Mark Hitch and the other corporals head straight for the cookhouse and an early evening meal.
You normally knock off about 4:30, whatever. You go down to Scoff, down to the Soldiers restaurant, down to the cookhouse, and you normally just get the usual half a battery chicken leg, chips, beans, and a bit of gravy.
He's being forwarded on from Python Joel system. He did not know he was a target. A target for who?
You're normally starving again by 8, 9 o'clock, so it's down the kebab wagon or whatever, or down the chinky, or you send someone out to the chippy or whatever.
I say, chaps, isn't the food surprisingly good tonight? Excellent input on last night.
For Andy James, dinner in the officers' mess is a far more formal affair.
It just pops up. It just pops up. For a supper during the week, you have to dress in suits. They don't expect you to go in jeans and scruff gear. And you're to act as an officer and a gentleman. It is a sort of gentleman's club, and that's the same in most messes. Even though we're on the same course as all the corporals, they don't really know what we get up to here, and we don't really know what life's like for them.
Right. Although Jenny is an officer, she doesn't live in the mess. She shares a house in the married quarters with her husband Steve.
It's quite nice to be able to leave work, go home, you know, obviously see Steve in the evening and do whatever I want. I actually think that's quite healthy.
So where did you fly to then, Jen?
Just around and about, just north-east of Andover and then over to Salisbury Plain, to Everley Down.
Right.
Obviously I still partake of mess functions and I still go into the mess, but I can lead a normal life as a married woman as well as a pilot on the course or what have you.
Oh, there we go. My broccoli's looking a little worse for wear.
In the air, rank is unimportant. Everyone faces the same hurdle. They all have to go solo within 5 flying hours. Just 5 hours to learn how to fly a circuit of the airfield and land safely on their own. They practice circuit after circuit until the flying becomes second nature.
Now your speed's low, so punch the nose down and put the nose down, make a move. As long as a trim wheel, man, with your hand on the throttle.
We can't afford to let the aircraft descend or we'll hit the ground. Keep your hand on that throttle. No matter if your head itches, does it?
The eyes on forward a moment, but the look ahead and make sure you've got your wings level when you're doing the DI. Bloody hell.
Stay right forward. Keep her on the ground while you accelerate.
Right, everything just went totally out the window then. Concentrate, just think what you're doing.
Before you can get out of an aircraft happily and send the guy solo, he must have demonstrated to you that he can do a considerable number of landings without any form of assistance from you. And I don't mean physical assistance, I mean verbal assistance as well. If your speed is too high and you pull the stick back too quickly, you'll go up, which is bad. And if you don't pull it back quickly enough, you'll bounce the main wheels and get a dose of kangaroo petrol for about 100 yards.
Ooh, wonderful. Okay, roll, go. Full power. Look ahead. Miles ahead. Pit punch and keep straight on.
Jenny is the first to go solo.
Okay, we've got 2,000 RPM.
With her previous experience, she was expected to do well, but it's still a relief to make it through the first hurdle.
Climbing at 70.
It's wonderful going solo for the first time. Your instructor decides that perhaps you're up to it, and he hops out and gives you the thumbs up and waves you off.
Right, 200 feet, brakes are off, temperatures and pressures are within limits, and flaps are up.
In some ways, it takes a lot of the pressure off flying by yourself because you haven't got somebody sitting on the back watching what all the dials are doing. So,
coming up to 400 feet, right turn, onto the crosswind leg.
I'll do the full whizzes through.
Over the next 2 days, the course followed Jenny's example and managed to go solo. They can stop flying circuits now and move on to more complicated sorties. But one trainee has fallen behind. Mark Hitch had a good first flight, but since then his flying has deteriorated. After 5 hours, his circuit work isn't good enough for him to be sent solo. He's still finding it hard to land the plane smoothly.
I'll put your book back inside while you're getting your chute.
Yes, sir.
If you sort out a parachute.
Yeah.
Mark's instructor thinks the problem is one of commitment rather than technique.
You see, after one trip, I did question him after we came in, and I said, well, you know, how's it going? That was a bit better than the last time. And he said, well, I'm not really enjoying it. Didn't enjoy it really, and that's, one questions his motives when somebody says something like that. Whether he's really keen enough on, you know, whether he wants to keep doing it, to try and do it, or whether he's just looking for something as a way out.
What do you think now? Do you think he's going to make it through this?
Well, it's a toss-up. I'm not sure. I don't think he will, to be honest, flying-wise. I think he's keen enough on the ground, he's shown that. Working hard, but I'm not sure that's enough.
Yeah, I mentioned it was take away, but it doesn't matter, I've got found my old paper someone's day.
Having failed to go solo, Mark has been placed on review. He'll now be isolated from the rest of the course, given a new instructor and just 3 extra flying hours to sort out his problems. He must go solo in this time, otherwise he'll be thrown off the course. As the first trainee on review, Mark is under close scrutiny. Everything he does now, in the air or on the ground, will be assessed for signs of weakness.
I can't honestly put my hand on my heart now and say I'm enjoying it. I mean, I got accused of daydreaming in the cockpit, and when I turned around and said I'm not daydreaming, then I got an ear bashing for it. That made me feel then, if I'm putting 110% into something and I'm getting bawled out for it, then that's it. Confidence lost. And that's why I wasn't enjoying it, because I'd lost my confidence in it. I told my parents on review, for the good that they know about it, it doesn't mean anything. So if you say, oh, I'm going on review, and they say, oh, good, well done, they don't understand. That means I'm doing crap.
This is make or break day for Mark Hitch. It's the day of his 3rd and final review flight. If he doesn't go solo today, he'll have to leave Middle Wallop without setting foot in a helicopter.
This 1 hour now will determine the rest of my flying career. Pass this, then I can go on to something else. Fail this, then I'd stay on the ground. But in this next hour, it's got to be perfect.
While Mark prepares to take off, the rest of course 354 are relaxing. They've been so concerned with their own flying, they've been unable to pay Mark much attention. But now, just a month into the course, they're having to face the prospect of losing their first member.
you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be very sad if someone does fail and you don't get to have them there for the rest of the time, and it'll be quite noticeable. But we can't sit back and sort of wallow in it. It happens all the time on courses. And as it sounds callous, you've just got to sit back and get on with your own flying and not worry about somebody else.
Brakes off, and there's no one on flags.
Alright, let's have a power check for your takeoff.
2,000 RPM.
Good.
031 on the radio.
He's under a lot of pressure, and when you get to a stage like this, it's frightening. What can you say? You know, what can he say? We can help, we can be sympathetic, and push him in the right direction and try and cheer him up. But once someone's on review, you can only talk to them and advise them. You can't fly it for them.
Mark knows what he's got to do. If he can fly 3 good circuits and make 3 good landings in a row, his instructor will let him go solo.
Brakes off, engine T's and P's within limits, and the flaps are up.
Okay, good start. Perhaps slightly more nose down would make me feel more comfortable, but you've got airborne around the right speed.
Okay, sir. Clear of the right wingtip.
Keep that lookout going. Whoa! Oops. Don't take your attention off the horizon. Stick right back momentarily and roll.
Mark's landings are improving. He's completed the 2nd circuit without a problem. But time is running out. There's only half an hour left on the clock.
Rather good one, eh?
Sir.
Seeing the ground well this morning. That's the way to do it. So how's it feeling, Mark?
A bit more relaxed, got a little bit more confidence back.
Good.
But I'm still being a bit slow to make decisions, I think.
Close to the ground, I would agree with that. Aggressive decision making close to the ground is got to be coming from you so that you can make your mind up quickly what to do.
So,
you can't be too analytical about it, you've got to be reactive. Right, I've sprung it on you there. You know why, don't you?
no, sir.
I'm going to get out and let you go on your own. But I didn't want you to think that was going to happen during that last approach. I didn't want it to sort of condition your process, you see.
All right, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
You happy?
Yes, sir.
Have a nice trip. You've worked hard for it, so enjoy it, all right? We'll see you in about 6 minutes.
Trim is 2 divisions nose down. Pitot head is on, taxiing lamp is on, engine T's and P's are within limits. Harness is locked and tight, hood is forward and locked, and the mixture is reached. The car there.
With 15 minutes of flying time left, Mark's instructor has given him the go-ahead for a solo circuit. This is Mark's last chance to prove he can make the grade.
Stations from the squadron, mean wind 20 knots, gusting 27 knots.
But now he has a new problem to deal with. The wind is gusting to the very edge of the safety limits. If he doesn't take off quickly, the flight will be stopped and he'll have to start all over again tomorrow.
at home, kids. Brakes off, engine T's and P's within limits, and the flaps are up.
I think he's a bit nervous, but he was fine. I think he was pretty happy, actually. He'd done well and he knew it. We had no ifs or buts and there was no doubts. Well, he knew everything that he was doing, so he's really ready.
Mixture rich, carburetor hot, fuel contents left, contents right sufficient. The flaps are up, my harness is locked and tight, the hood is forward and locked, and the brakes are off. And 90 knots, 800 feet. Looking good, looking good. No, the traffic, one landing, and the right wing tip is clear. Okay, let's get this baby on the ground.
This is the most important moment of the solo circuit. If Mark's to come off review, he has to prove he really can land safely on his own.
Now he's forgotten several things that he's been taught, and therefore there was a little bit of porpoising, a little bit of bouncing. But he knew where the ground was and he didn't hit it too hard and he stayed down. So he's done a good first solo. And he'll be feeling pretty good, but I'm afraid we're going to have to stop it there because the wind has now gone out of limits.
To tell you that it was frequently 20, gusting 27, and that's come to a metal.
Having gone solo, Mark is taken off review. He can now relax and rejoin the rest of the course.
Mark, solo gone.
Hey. Right. Just need a surplus tomcat on the way.
You just got away with that as well.
Huh?
You just got away with that. Because as you pulled away, they transmitted the new wind strengths, and then I couldn't.
Yeah, I heard the wind strength and I thought, shit, before he stopped. Spin around the corner.
Well, I just got caught because I was just behind you and I couldn't.
Chuck the bananas.
Great.
Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic. I just think you better watch that film on your own, like, because I was singing away to myself up there. No, it's mega. Good.
By the end of April, all 10 trainees pass the Chipmunk phase. Their dream of flying helicopters is now only one step away.
Next week at the same time here on BBC One. And there's pressure next tonight in Cardiac Arrest.
This is the story of 10 soldiers with one ambition, to fly helicopters for the army. After 2.5 months, the members of Course 354 have completed the first phase of their training.
That's a bit much.
They've been learning basic airmanship skills on fixed-wing planes, but they're now eager to start flying helicopters.
Too wide, they went, you just stay there. You got away with it.
Corps is showing off its hardware. 40 helicopters in tight formation, flown by their best pilots. It takes years of experience to fly like this. For the trainees on Pilots Course 354, this is still a dream. They haven't even set foot inside a helicopter, nor will they until they pass one more hurdle. A week of survival training. Essential safety drill for all would-be helicopter pilots. The week starts at the Navy's Underwater Escape Unit, more commonly known as the Dunker. The Dunker simulates a helicopter crash in water. It teaches people how to escape from a sinking aircraft. No one on Course 354 will be allowed to fly a helicopter until they've passed this training. Corporal Marcus Locke is dreading this moment. He's the weakest swimmer on the course.
A step forward in your own mind, if you admit you're worried about doing something. I definitely was worried about doing the Dunker. I mean, the water's coming up towards us, so I have a deep breath. I'm now under the water. Oh God, I can't see anything. Do I get out now? Yes. Get me out. How do I get back? Alright? Yeah.
The trainees have to practice several types of escape with the lights on and off. On the second run, the lights stay on, but the Dunker spins over as if the helicopter has capsized.
The next one, I started to undo my clasp as they started turning it, and that's when panic started setting. God, I'm stuck. I'm going to drown here. Oh, well, good way of ending the pilot's course. Corporal Locke drowned in the swimming pool. Wonderful.
Marcus Locke has spent 9 years in the light infantry. He came on the course disillusioned with life as a foot soldier and keen to make a fresh start as an army pilot.
Is it a kind of step up the ladder to go from light infantry into the Air Corps?
Okay, let's look at it another way. I'm digging a trench, or I fly a helicopter. What's your answer to that one? I would say yes. Definitely.
Lights!
The thing is, I don't really want to be in the army unless I can do this now. I've done over 9 years now as an infantryman. It sort of gets on top of you after a while. I mean, all those little trenches you've got to dig all over the place. So I think I've had enough of that. I needed to go out and do something. No, it's not. That sounds like this turned up, so I went for it. No, that's not quite right. Because I've been thinking about this for a few years. But fly helicopters, yeah, it's got to be done. Got to be done.
Back at Middle Wallop, the Army Air Corps is throwing a party. This is the most elaborate helicopter parade ever staged in Britain. Guest of honour is Prince Charles, their new Colonel-in-Chief. And in the audience are veteran pilots who flew in the Second World War. They're here to watch the unveiling of the Air Corps' new regimental flag, its guidon, awarded for achievements in battle during the Falklands and more recently the Gulf War.
We were formed in 1957 and it's been rather a fledgling organisation. We have a history that is, stretches back no more than 36 years. And therefore to be awarded a guidon, which we parade with and shall subsequently treasure, is a great honour, and I think together with having Prince Charles designated as our Colonel-in-Chief really does mean that the Corps has come of age. The guidon comes from an Italian term, guidoni, which was a banner that was carried by regiments into battle. And only those regiments that are engaged in direct fire, those that close with the enemy, are awarded standards, colours and guidons.
Army Air Corps! Slow! Out!
20,000 feet. Safety, roger, 20,000 feet.
Anybody want to change your minds?
For Course 354, Survival Week continues at the decompression chamber. Yesterday they were dropped underwater. Today they're climbing thousands of feet to simulate the effects of oxygen starvation.
Chamber stops, 25,000 feet. Right, numbers 4 and 7, disconnect your oxygen, turn on your microphones. I'll turn them on for you. Can you hear me, number 4? Can you hear me?
Yep, got
I can hear you now. Can you hear me, number 7? Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Right, okay, put the blank in. Numbers 4 and 7 off oxygen. Okay, number 7, stand up and down 6 times. Up and down. How are you feeling, number 4?
Okay.
Good. Okay, that's good. Take a piece of paper in front of you, write down your name and address.
Please. Number 8, uncross your legs.
The rest of you just keep a close eye on their faces.
Lieutenant Jenny Firth is only the 4th woman ever to be selected for the pilot's course.
When I joined the Army, the Air Corps still weren't taking girls. That's something that only happened about 3 years ago. It just was a natural progression. The jobs that I've been doing so far have been very admin-based, and it was interesting to think that I could go into something that had a realer role in the Army.
Okay, that's good. When you've done that, hold out your hands in front of you, pop your wrists up, right out in front of you, nice and straight. A little bit of a fine tremor at the moment. Okay, so a little bit of blueness there. How are you feeling, number 4?
Okay, get busy.
Okay. Carry on with your task. Carry on, number 7.
2 minutes 30.
2 minutes 30.
You'll be flying helicopters soon. How will you cope with extra pressure?
I don't know until I do it. I am worried about it. I'm just going to have to do as well as I can. Until I experience that pressure, I don't know how I'm going to deal with it.
Okay, remember the number 853.
2 minutes 30.
Okay, begin to slow down a bit now, aren't we?
As the altitude increases, the air becomes thinner and the brain is starved of oxygen. Reactions slow down, sometimes with dramatic effect.
Well done. Take your piece of paper away. Okay, slow down a bit. Those of you who've got children know what to do with this. Take a ball each. The shapes go in the holes. Put the shapes in the ball.
3 minutes.
How are you feeling, number 9? How are you feeling, number 9? Okay, put the shapes in the ball. Reconnect your oxygen, number 9. Reconnect your oxygen. Give him a hand, number 8, please.
Although he's still conscious, Corporal Harrison is unable to react to any of the officer's instructions.
Put the shapes in the ball, number 9. Number 9. Put the shapes in the ball. Okay, write down the number I told you to remember, both of you. How are you feeling, number 1?
Yeah, light-headed, bright colours, slightly blurred vision.
Okay, how's it feeling now, number 9? Where's it sore? Just over the eye?
Just over here.
Okay, how are your ears feeling? Very painful?
Yeah.
I remember the first part, up to a certain point. I think the second game of noughts and crosses I remember as far as, and nothing after that until I was back on the oxygen. I didn't even realise I'd been put back on oxygen. I just sort of carried on and thought I was doing fine.
You couldn't hear when the colonel told you to go back onto oxygen?
No, not at all. I didn't hear that at all. And when he said, write down that number I told you to remember, I thought he was bluffing, because I didn't hear a number at all.
Survival week ends in the English Channel. The trainees are about to jump into the sea, kitted out with a life jacket and personal life raft strapped to their backs.
Well, I don't know about you, I'm doing this for Maggie. Bring back Maggie. God, Queen in the Corps. The regiment.
Marcus Locke is the first to go.
Good luck, Marcus. Okay.
Having survived the Dunker, he now has to jump into the open sea. For such a weak swimmer, it's a frightening prospect.
Stand by. Jump. Stand by. Outstanding, you see that?
This exercise builds on the Dunker training. It's assumed that Marcus and the others have escaped from a helicopter crash. Now they have to get into their life rafts and wait to be rescued before hypothermia sets in.
I'll just fall off.
You'll get a standby and go if you don't.
And then a kick. Yeah, right.
Okay, water up. Okay. Go! Go!
You can't really simulate the real thing when you know that you can see the boat 200 metres away. You can't experience, I imagine, possibly the despair you might experience if it really happened and if you didn't know if anybody knew where you were or if they were coming to get you. But the actual part that we were practicing was very real. It was getting the raft inflated, it was bailing all the water out and so on. And obviously that was, we did it. It was very real.
After bobbing up and down for half an hour in heavy seas, the trainees are brought back to the main launch, cold and wet.
Okay. Right, get it in quick, one at a time. Watch your hands and feet to go. Just one at a time. Ready?
Get the bottles off. Wash your hands and feet as you go. Another glorious day. Take people with the hands and feet as you go. Okay. Go. Oh, ferryboat people. Yeah. Fucking ferry about in here. Hey. One more.
Were you worried out there, Marcus?
No, it's alright actually. I mean, I started feeling a bit queasy when I got that little boat, so I was getting bounced all over the place, but when we were out there it was okay. I was trying to get all that water out. I've never seen so much water in my little thing all my life. It was everywhere. My arms were knackered trying to squeeze it down that little tube.
Yeah, it's possible, isn't it?
Yeah. So in the end I got that little sponge out and I was trying to squeeze it outside to get blown back in again.
Yeah.
So I got wet arse.
Quite cramped in there, aren't you? Sorry? Quite cramped in there.
Yeah. That's good though.
I was looking for the drinks cabinet, I couldn't quite find it.
I kept thinking, well, I've got to think of something else apart from being seasick, because otherwise I'll be seasick. So, you know, looking at the occasional seagull going by and trying to see the other people and just do anything to avoid thinking of the fact that you're stuck in the middle of a bit of water going up and down about 10 foot a minute.
Did anyone throw up?
Yeah. I think Mickey close calls, I tell you.
How you feeling, Mickey?
Lumps down the front.
What? How you feeling?
Never wait to see another boat as long as I live. I'll wait to be aborted to join the Navy.
You didn't join the army for this?
No, it's alright. It's got to be done. Thank God it's over.
Survival week is over, and the trainees have returned to Middle Wallop. Tonight there's a chance to relax, but tomorrow they begin the next phase of their training, basic rotary. At last they'll be flying helicopters.
Staying in, doing lots of work.
Looking forward to flying?
Very much so now. As they said at the beginning of the course, I know it's sad, as the commandant said, sitting there looking out the window and watching helicopters. But I noticed that today, again in the navigation classroom, because that's next to the Gazelle hangar. And you couldn't help but turn your head a couple of times when a Gazelle came into land. Especially with the fog coming in, it looked quite good. So very much looking forward to it.
You'll be up there soon?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Well, good afternoon, 354 course, and welcome to Basic Rotary Wing. My name is Bob Weston, and I'm in charge of this phase of the course. You've joined to be a helicopter pilot, and here we are, at last you've reached this phase. This afternoon, you get your first chance of getting your hands on the helicopter, where we're going to do a familiar flight with your instructors. You will always remember this period of your training and your instructor who taught you. It's a very intense, very clear period in your flying careers.
Pedals are neutral, cyclic is central, lever down, friction is on. Here, have a good look around, we'll clear left, clear on the right. Nobody taxiing in front of us or close to us. Give him the wind up. Rotor brake goes off. Now we just wind the rotors up.
Course 354 will be learning to fly Gazelles, the Army's smallest and sleekest helicopter. They're unarmed, but because they're so maneuverable, they're ideal for reconnaissance and observation.
Feel me pushing in right pedal as I raise the lever. Brake round. There. Quite a lot of right pedal. And we just sit into the hover attitude.
The first flight is flown by the instructor. For Jenny, it's a chance to sit back and watch while he takes the Gazelle through its paces.
There on the left. And away we go. You can follow me through lightly if you wish to. And we'll go on.
Oh,
obviously this is what you're coming on the course to learn to fly the Gazelle. We've been doing the Chipmunk, which is getting you airworthy, I suppose, but now this is it, learning to fly the helicopters. Everybody's probably had those dreams where they're flying 4 or 5 meters above the surface or swimming through the air or something like that, and you have that feeling of perhaps freedom and exhilaration. That's the closest you can come to explaining it, I think. It's just tremendous fun being able to fly along and then suddenly stop and have a look around without having to land, or to be able to climb up a bit higher and look a bit further afield and so on. And it's fascinating the fact that it's up there and that it stays up there and it does what you tell it to do. Hopefully. The Chipmunk phase was fun for me because I'd done it before, and it was a bit of revision and getting a bit better and what have you. But here I'm right down at the bottom of the ladder, kind of feeling fairly jealous of those that have had a bit of experience and finding it a lot easier to do. But it's going to be hard work, but I think it'll be good fun whilst we're doing it.
First hurdle?
First hurdle is probably being able to cope with more than one control at a time, actually. We'll see.
The demonstration ride is over. Now the hard work begins. Flying a helicopter involves the coordination of 3 main controls. Marcus Locke is finding out how each of them works.
Right, let's start off with the pedals. Right. If I press the right pedal, the aircraft yaws to the right. If I press the right, it turns to the right. If I press the left pedal, the aircraft turns to the left. That's it, yep. Right. And back to the centre again. Into wind. Right, the lever. The lever's controlling the torque, which is controlling the height. Now if I bring in the lever, the aircraft is going to rise. And if I lower the lever, the aircraft is going to sink. And you'll notice when it sinks, it yaws around to the right. And when I bring in the power, it yaws around to the left. Okay, so there's an interreaction between the lever and the pedals. Right, now we come to the front bit. The cyclic. Yes, right. The cyclic controls the attitude. And if I move the cyclic forward, then the nose is going to go down, the aircraft's going to move forward. Is that all right? Yeah. If I bring the cyclic back, and the nose is going to rise, and the aircraft's going to start moving backwards. So basically, it's a question of cancelling out any aircraft movement with a series of pressures, not controlled movements, with a series of pressures. Yeah. Right. Well, there you go. You have control. I control them. Well, you have the cyclic now, I have the pedals and the lever. Okay, so I'm going to hold the heading and the height, and you are going to hold the attitude. You have the cyclic. Okay, so... That's good, that's quite good. Sweat yet, but I think you're working harder. So the other sir. Radio 238, radio check. 238.
It's a totally different experience from anything you've ever done in your life. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant fun. I mean, I've been in the back so many times, sort of with enemy units, back in battalion and whatnot in Ireland. So I've always enjoyed being in helicopters, but then again, it's not really my job, so you never really get much of a chance. But as soon as you actually get in front of this, you realise how low you are to the ground, how clear and how much you can actually see. It's really, really good fun. Brilliant.
An Apache helicopter is visiting Middle Wallop from an American base in Germany. For Andy James, it's a chance to glimpse the ultimate prize.
This is great. This thing's sick. You could pull some real chicks in one of these, couldn't you? You could. You just down at the pub. Hey, babe, come on, let's up my chopper.
The Army Air Corps is currently buying its own fleet of attack helicopters, chosen from 6 different designs. Whichever they buy, Andy hopes that one day he'll be groomed to fly machines like this.
What do you think of this? Sex. Got to be careful what I say, but I'll tell you what, I haven't seen so many bloody buttons and dials and things to press in a helicopter, have I? Oh God, I'd love to have one of these. Excellent. Come on, do you have control? Take over, pilot. Where's the starter button? Who's got the key and the choke? There's nowhere to put your beer. You can't put your beer anywhere.
So at this stage, the trainees are on a high. They're feeling very excited. They've arrived on helicopters and flying it for the first time. In our experience, this elation is followed by a bit of a dip when they realise how difficult it is and how little time there is to do it. Very shortly they'll start having furrowed brows, they'll start feeling more serious about it as they start having to reproduce what their instructor has showed them.
The pressure is already on for Course 354. Having only just started on helicopters, they're expected to go solo within the first 11 flying hours. It's a daunting prospect.
And the nerves will be fraying for the flying soldiers next week. They're going solo. Next tonight on BBC One, a case of sexual harassment in cardiac arrest.
The flying soldiers.
Left, right, left.
This is the story of 10 soldiers with one ambition: to fly helicopters for the Army. Everyone on Course 354 has made it through the first 3 months of the training and taken their first flights in a helicopter.
Everybody's probably had those dreams where they're swimming through the air or something like that. That's the closest you can come to explaining it, I think.
Now the hard work will begin and the pressure will start to count.
Right, what did you do there? Too fast.
Trainees on Course 354 are up against the clock. They're expected to go solo within just 11 flying hours.
Right, now you have control of the pedals. Okay, and the lever. Okay, sir. Alright, just keep the taxiing there. Good.
To begin with, they're taught the basics: taking off, hovering and landing.
Okay, aircraft's wavering around, just hold everything. Make sure you've got it under control before you continue down to the ground.
They have to learn quickly. The schedule is tight, and if they fall behind at any stage, it may be impossible to catch up.
That's lovely. Okay, I have control. Let's get away from there. Sail clear to the left.
At 32, Staff Sergeant Mark Finch is the oldest member of the course and the most experienced.
Now, what we'll do now, we'll try landing with all 3.
He spent half his life in the Royal Signals, but after 16 years, he's disillusioned and wants a fresh challenge.
If I
pass out and I become an army pilot, then I'll hopefully stay, well, I will stay in definitely and do my 22 years, and if possible I'll stay on longer. But if I fail, I've got a couple of stark choices to make. Either I get out or I go for a totally different trade or job within the army to what I was doing before. Really, this is what I want to do in the army now. And basically, if I don't achieve it, then I've got a lot of hard thinking about what I'm going to do. I'd like to stay in the army. I've always enjoyed the army, but I don't want to go back to what I was doing.
Mark Finch is struggling to hover. It's a test of coordination. Hands and feet have to keep moving together, always making intricate adjustments.
You've got to try and relax a bit more. Just look well ahead, maintain the hover attitude. Don't get annoyed. Just ease it away, nice and gentle. You have the technology, you've proved that. It's just a matter of regaining control.
If you stay nice and relaxed, try not to think about it, then it all kind of, it just happens, and you're just able to stay there, relatively, small area. But because you start concentrating on trying to stay still, you start to tense up, and it all goes to pieces. You start flying around all over the place, you start over-controlling, you're making bigger movements than you need to, and then you just start seesawing all over the sky. Right guys, I don't know how we're going to do this.
Nor do I.
But what we just thought is we'll just go through the questions. If anybody has a problem with one, then we'll
I don't know any.
We'll try and sort it out. Yeah, I don't know how you feel.
Because of his rank and experience, Mark assumes control whenever the corps are together, even during informal revision evenings.
How do you check the serviceability of the turn and slip indicator?
Boy. Precession, that's one.
Since starting on helicopters, the technical workload has increased. The trainees have to sit regular exams on aerodynamics, safety and design. The next exam is never far away.
We have noticed a definite step up in the tempo, and we are expected to learn things a lot quicker now. And I know that things are going to progress even faster as we move on, like a snowball effect. Anybody know what the second rate is?
360.
Yeah, and the next one is
540.
540, yeah.
Before the trainees can go solo, they have to prove to their instructors they can fly a circuit of the airfield at exactly the right height and the right speed.
Okay, you have the controls. I have the controls, sir. You have the controls. Just ease the nose forward to give us up 90 knots. Ease it forward, 90 knots.
They practice circuit after circuit until it becomes second nature.
Ease it forward, nose forward. No, we're consistently holding 80 knots. We need to be at 90 knots. That's better.
As well as basic circuit work, the trainees are taught to deal with emergencies. They have to assume the helicopter could lose power at any time.
Okay, practice engine failure go. 142 front stop.
Lieutenant Jenny Firth is being tested on her safety drill.
Okay, mayday, mayday, mayday. 142, 142. Engine failure, crosswind leg. Cut off. And, we did get that so fast.
Okay, I have control.
Harness secures. Battery master off.
The reason we're getting it so fast is because you lower the nose and started diving at the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice entry though, nice turn, no problem with that. Just watch that speed on the descent.
This time when we go down, you get to the right point, you start the flare, and you started it at the right point last time.
Yeah.
I want you to say it out loud, okay?
What flaring now?
Flare, flare, flare. Check, level, run on, okay?
Yeah.
Mark Finch's hovering has improved, but he's now having trouble with the emergencies.
Right, follow through the controls.
In this exercise, the instructor cuts off the power and leaves him to land using only the pitch of the rotor blades to defy gravity.
Right, practice engine failure, go.
It's one of the most important and difficult tests for any new pilot.
60 knots.
Engine off, sir?
No, you don't do that, I do that. Keep your hand on the lever.
Sorry.
Okay, 60, yes. Holding 60.
Right, clear, check, level, pushing.
Okay.
But we're down.
Right, lower the lever, hold everything where it is.
Yes, sir.
High throttle.
Sorry about that, sir, I thought...
It's okay.
Mark has only 3 flying hours left to improve his safety drill and make it solo. Time is running out.
I know that I can fly. It's these emergency drills. I must learn the drills, and I don't know them very well, and that's because I know that it causes a confidence problem. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Army Air 146, 146, 146. Engine off. Attempting landing. Middle wallop. Bearing, distance. Fuel shut-off lever. Once I've learnt all these checks, so that I can spiel them off speedily, then I think everything else will fall back into place again. Establish auto rotation back to 60 knots. Harness tight and battery off.
Course 354 are at the brink. They've reached the 11th hour and they should all be going solo.
Very nice, very nice. No problem with your takeoffs and landings today, is there? So because they're so smooth and nice...
201 front stop, downwind.
I'm going to jump out now and let you go off on your own.
Oh, no. Right, sir.
Your circuit's ragged, but that will come hopefully with practice. Happy?
Happy, yes. Is there a look of fear on my face?
Nice, gentle takeoff as you've been doing.
Yeah.
Don't get tense. Just appreciate that it will be a slightly different hover attitude than you're used to.
These are anxious moments for Jimmy, alone in charge of a £1 million helicopter for the first time.
Salt is 45%, MC is in the green, T4 is 400, CWP is clear.
You'd keep wanting to go solo and having to do yet another sortie and yet another sortie, and then finally you do it, and when the instructor tells you he's getting out, you do get a few butterflies in the stomach. But it lets you know that your instructor has faith in the fact that you can take yourself around a circuit and get back on the ground safely. I wasn't quite sure I had that faith in myself.
Back on the ground, there's been an emergency. One of the trainees, Lieutenant J.P. Miller, has had to abort his flight.
We were just coming in for hover practice, and my instructor said the immortal words of one more good takeoff and landing and you go first solo, and the aircraft burst into flames. Not quite that, we were just hovering over there, and we saw a whole load of fumes in the front of the cockpit. So we just landed on, he took control, landed on, and we just shut down together. I turned off whatever switch I need to.
What's happened, do you think?
The battery's just overheated. Just the hot weather, I'm not sure. I just asked my instructor, he said it happens occasionally. Act of God or something, suddenly the helicopter got fumes everywhere. Oh well.
Okay, and
the right.
I think the first solo is quite a hurdle, but it's a big boost to your confidence. And once you've done that and you know that you're capable of flying a circuit and landing it safely, then it's going to boost your confidence for the other exercises that you're going to have to do afterwards.
Hello? Is that you, David? Could you go along to the steward's crew room, please, and ask Staff Finch to come up and see me?
Always remember, if you have an emergency, doors and harness. Always follow those.
Everyone on the course has gone solo within the allotted time. Everyone except Staff Sergeant Mark Finch. His flying still isn't considered safe enough.
Your instructor has been to see me, and we've had a discussion, the result of which I now have to tell you, you are on review. So, first of all, do you understand the situation that exists? You're on review. The reasons that you failed to meet service standards, as far as I can gather from the instructor's written reports, you know we write these 50, 60 books, is first of all your division of attention is poor, and your awareness is poor. Now that's big major things, is big block words. But what you have to do is find out specifically what you're doing wrong and ask your instructor how to cure these things.
Being on review, Mark will now be isolated from the rest of the course and given 4 extra flying hours to sort out his problems. He must go solo in this time, otherwise he'll be thrown off the course.
On the controls. Make sure a nice stable hover. It's clear below and we're going to land, okay?
Mark's safety drill has improved, but now he's become so nervous he's having trouble with the basics again, his hovering and landing.
Relax. Stretch those fingers and toes. Right, back on the controls. You got control?
No control, sir.
Okay, takeoff checks aren't required on this one. Okay, and back up into the hover. Up to 6 feet. A little bit too close to the ground now. Okay, right, control the hover. Have a good look out. Fire control.
Yeah, control, sir.
Okay, to worry?
Well, I'm there.
You just weren't concentrating on your hover enough.
222, climb it downwind.
Looking out to the right. All clear?
All clear, sir.
086 links, finals, running landing in, right spots. Just allowed the aircraft to take control of you when you were hovering and avoiding.
They keep telling us, you know, you've got to try not to let it bother you, because the more it bothers you, the worse it becomes. But it's very difficult not to let it bother you. Very difficult to put that kind of thing to the back of your mind, because you know that it's, you know, it could be a potentially big, it could be a very big problem that may get me kicked off the course if I don't get it sorted out. And that thought preys on my mind. That fear of getting kicked off the course really does start to bite.
After 3 review flights, Mark still hasn't gone solo. Now he has only 1 flight left to prove himself.
You don't want to see anybody on the course struggling. We want to all get through and all help each other get through. We'd like to have a wings parade with 10 people on it. So naturally you do get a bit guilty almost that you've been able to go on and break the solo barrier. But you have to realise that anybody's liable to go on review for whatever reason. It's bound to be a bit of a shock when it happens. But it's a system that's been established to try and help you get over whatever problem it is you're having at the time with your flying and get back on course. And I'm sure Staff Finch will be going solo on Monday. I hope so.
Check that it's on. Press the reset. If it still doesn't work, turn it off. Land. I'm going to lose.
It's make or break day for Mark Finch, the day of his 4th and final review flight. He's hardly slept due to nerves. He simply must go solo today.
Then press reset. The more you think about it, the more you have to sit and stew about it, the worse it seems. And I just want to get out there and prove that I can do it.
Mark's last flight is with one of the top military examiners. He'll make the final decision whether Mark is good enough to go solo.
135's climbing wheel. Okay, you're clear on the left.
Mark's career is on the line. This is his last chance to prove he has a future as an army pilot.
All I want you to do is fly your circuits as normal, and then I'd like to see some landings.
Big jumbo way over there, sir. Probably too far, isn't it? Keep the speed on. Clear right and clear above. Alright, clear left.
Okay, you're clear on the left.
Okay, there we go.
Halfway through the flight, Mark has reason to be confident. He's managed to put aside his nerves and fly 2 good circuits. "50 minutes in, and the flight reaches its climax. Mark's circuits have gone well, but before he can go solo, the examiner wants to see a good, smooth landing. Mark keeps trying to make that final landing, but the pressure is getting to him.
It's alright, it's awful.
It's okay. Okay, now I have control, just relax. Obviously that's the problem, isn't it? It's just that last little bit before you get to the ground.
The examiner has taken control and ends the flight.
Back. I think I've seen enough. I'll get you back from here.
Mark can't help but fear the worst.
Right, door clear.
saw your last landing. You were there and then you went back up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I got close to the ground. I was so tense, and I knew I was tense, and I felt it start to wobble a bit, and I thought, no, sorry, I'll pull back up out of this. When I came up for, I think it was the second or third time, I thought, you know, this is really getting a bit mad. He gave me plenty of time to have a good crack at it, but in the end he just said, you worked hard enough.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, but it's just annoying because I was so close. If I'd never been able to land it then, I felt sure he would have got out and let me go and do a solo. So
it's not over. I mean, they can still make a decision upstairs to give you another hour or so.
Well, he said that's all there is. I mean, but now, of course, they're going to look over the whole course. And they're going to take into account the whole thing.
Hello, staff. Would you like to take a seat? Take your hat off and relax. Now, we've got to the crunch time. We've reached a point really where we can't progress any further, and it's really, I think, the limit of your ability that we're facing. You have addressed a particular problem, and you've eventually been able to overcome it to a reasonable degree, but then in so doing you've deteriorated in some other area, and consequently we're into now what I would call a vicious circle. We get you out of one problem by working at it, and you've then allowed other things to suffer along the way. Even if we were to allow you enough time to go solo, and we've really given you quite a bit more time now, we could get you solo eventually, maybe in another couple of hours, maybe 5 hours, but you've then got the next hurdle to overcome and so on. And the pressure that you'd be facing would be just so great, it would damage you. So, as a result of that, and having looked through your reports at this stage, I'm really left with little option but to recommend to the Commandant that you be suspended from flying training.
You got 2 quid for a big bird?
No, that's it.
So, gentlemen, Mark has been suspended, and he's going to have some leave until Monday, then we'll sort out all the paperwork. If we can give him a bit of support now when he needs it, and we'll sort him out next week. Thanks, Mark. Cheers.
I could have made it if they had the time. They didn't have the time, so that was that. It's all over. They said they'd try and get me a good posting somewhere, you know, whatever they can. And that'll be it, really. A few weeks, well, I don't know, maybe a week or so's leave. And then back to the good old Royal Sigs.
Fine, cool. Can I do the call?
The call.
It only gets more difficult from now on in. This is relatively simple. They don't see it as simple. They see it at that stage as being a huge hurdle. But this is the lowest of all the hurdles they're going to jump over. And the moment they're over this hurdle, the next hurdle is there, but it's actually higher, and so on all the way to the end of the course. With his profile and his inherent problems that were built in with division of attention, his awareness, indeed his anticipation. He had trouble identifying that something was going wrong and he had to do something about it. He would never have passed the course.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Cheers, Richie.
Cheers.
So you sat an exam on your condolences, mate.
Oh, guys, it's going to make me cry. Cheers.
You didn't go on coming, did you?
Not at all.
Oh, good. This is a bias.
Permission for bottom lip to wobble to.
Granted.
I feel that I could have got through, and you know, maybe I would have scraped through, but I think I could have done it. Had I just managed to get that solo, then everything would have come so much easier, and I could have dealt with whatever else they had to give me. I enjoy flying, just for flying's sake. And unfortunately, that's all I can take away with me now is the experience of having flown. Just being up there, being free, doing what you want to do, just being able to control the thing. It's been terrific.
One gloves.
Helmet and mic.
Helmet and mic.
Hurrying back. Mark Finch will be sent back to the Royal Signals and then posted to Northern Ireland. He's been told not to reapply for the pilot's course.
What went wrong then?
Well, cut a long story short, in the end, I couldn't land it.
Couldn't land it. It's a good life, isn't it?
Course 354 have had their first casualty. How many more will suffer the same fate before the end of the year? The 9 remaining trainees know that the hardest part of the course still lies ahead.
Stiff competition for Raj in cardiac arrest, next on BBC One.
Just slip.
This is the story of 10 soldiers with one ambition, to fly helicopters for the army. For one would-be pilot, the dream is already over. He couldn't make the grade.
Now, we've reached a point really where we can't progress any further.
For the other 9 members of Course 354, the pressure is mounting. They've finished their basic training, now they'll start the advanced phase of the course, where they learn to fly the Army way.
Welcome to 670. What you're going to do here is face a whole bunch of different challenges. All I can say is rise to them. Every single one of you will have a hurdle on this pilot's course. Whether it's night flying, low-level map reading, tactics, I don't know, but you're all going to have one. So when it happens, I'm not going to say if, when it happens, be honest with yourself. Instructors will spot a bluffer at 100 miles.
For the first half of the course, the trainees were taught civilian flying skills by civilian instructors. But today the stakes have risen. They're now military pilots, members of 670 Squadron, and they're in the hands of military instructors. Their flight commander for the next 3 months is Captain Nick Warmby, a young instructor with a reputation for high standards.
Obviously it's going to be a culture shock for some of them coming up from basic rotary. The teaching down there to a certain extent is, and purposely so, they're almost mothered through the course because that's the way you teach basic flying. Up here we're taking them at a grade further on, and then going to push them 4 grades further on in about the same amount of time.
Right, as we start to load you up with map reading, ETAs, diversions, and obviously radio calls, don't forget the basics, flying the aircraft, yeah?
The first trainee under Nick Warmby's gaze is Andy James. He's finding out that a more disciplined approach is now required.
Passenger ready, go. Triple go, fan stop, crosswind. Mayday, 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 240, 240, engine failure, north to 60 knots, coming into wind. Which field are we going for? And we're going for the green field in front. Roger. Full flare recovery. Roger. Gonna make it? Yes. Might just make it over the hedge. Start the flare, watching the NR as it rises. Is Mike good enough? Are we gonna make it? Yes.
The pressure will increase, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. A lot of it is self-induced, a lot of it is purposely induced by the instructors and the system. I think they'll enjoy it. Hopefully they'll all rise to the challenge.
And pylons, 3 fields, left to right. What's your visual of pylons?
They're all going to come across a hurdle of somewhat, and it's very interesting to see how each of them handle it. We've had everything from, you know, some people here have left with alopecia and glandular fever, all stress-induced, which is, you know, to us a good indication that they're not going to hack it in the real world.
The trainees are no longer treated like novices. They now have to plan their own sorties, work out their routes, and check the weather reports. The instructors give them a task and leave them to get on with it. The first task they face is instrument flying. As military pilots, they must be able to fly in bad weather without any visual reference. So they learn to use special blinkers and a screen which restrict their vision and allow them to see nothing but the instrument console.
251, report checks complete, we go around.
251, checks complete.
Army 251, that's correct. Contact audio talk ground 300.45.
330.45. 251.
Corporal Jim Lecornu is one of the first to try instrument flying.
Test 56, clear roll, circuit clear, barrier up. Threshold wind.
The air traffic controllers at Boscombe Down are following his every move and talking him through an approach to the airfield.
Turn left 5 degrees onto north.
With his blinkers and screen, Jim can't see anything but the instruments. He doesn't know where he is or where he's going. All he can do is watch the dials and follow the instructions.
I find flying the helicopter quite difficult enough, especially accurately, and being able to do other things at the same and checking other things at the same time. Sometimes you can go into overload and then something gets missed and you cannot afford to miss anything.
1.5 miles, 450 feet, approaching minimum descent height.
On the ground, it's not impossible to get through it. It's not as difficult as it looks. But the critical point is when you're flying. I mean, I have an O-level maths, but my maths is horrendous. It really is horrendous. It's horrendous on the ground, and it's just magnified when you fly. It really is.
Having made his approach, Jim is not required to land. He overshoots the runway and heads back to Middle Wallop. This trip has gone quite well, but instrument flying is going to get a lot tougher over the next few days. For Jim and the others, the pressure is starting to bite. They're now flying 2 or 3 sorties a day, always with restricted vision. And when they're not flying, they're on the ground planning the next sortie.
Yeah, so there's not a kind of resistance, and then the rope is slack there on one line.
They know from reputation that this is one of the most critical stages of the course. Instrument flying is a specialist skill, and those who don't pick it up quickly don't survive long.
Okay, if you'd like to put your back wings down and start scanning the instruments. Once I've cleared the circuit, I'll let you have control.
Okay, sir.
You can't see anything. You concentrate on the instruments. You've got radios coming in. And it's generally hard work. I'm getting on the ground and then again trying to come back in and then push that sortie to one side and then start another one and replan. It's different. It's not handed to you on a plate anymore, and they're not saying to you, right, this is what we're doing or this is where we're going.
Could you speed up to 100 knots then? It would take forever to get in, wouldn't it? 100 knots.
For each airfield they've got different procedures, and it's not just the actual flying of it. Like you've got, for certain approaches you've got minimum heights you're allowed to go down to, which if you break them, then on the instrument test you fail. So it's remembering stuff like that as well, and try to fly it accurately, and try to do what your traffic are telling you, and do what your instructor's telling you.
Okay, reducing to 90 knots and coming up to 700 feet.
You can maintain 100.
Okay.
And adjust to 700.
Who's lit my Mars bar?
And my biscuits. Jackpot.
Just confirm nobody's seen it already. Right, where's the courthouse?
How's Mark on, do you know? I think he's still being delivered. Is he?
That one, 259 for NDB.
How's that?
That one was rough with rough edges. Strut gives me lots of confidence. Apparently he says the Gazelle was called the Gazelle because it's supposed to be sleek, graceful and swift. Whereas when I fly it, it's like a three-legged donkey on a whiskey habit. So that's about as good as my debriefs get these days. And off for another debrief now. Can't wait to hear what he's got to say. The pressure comes from the lack of time. There isn't enough hours in the day. You need a 36-hour day here, to be honest.
So unless it's giving you the minimas and stuff like that for the British Army, what's the US Army?
You need to know everything yesterday, and if you can't keep up with it, then you start asking questions and you start putting pressure on yourself. Consequently, that's when your flying suffers. It's when you're not performing up to the right standard. That's when the enjoyment goes out the window and you realise you've got to sort of start digging deep into your reserves and start pulling something out the hat and pulling it out fast. Otherwise, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to go under.
Nightfall brings no let-up for Course 354. By day, they're instrument flying. By night, they're learning new skills. This evening, for the first time, they're going to be flying with night vision goggles, image-intensifying binoculars that attach to the helmet.
What have we done? One back to front and again, there. No, yeah, that's the piece you look. Yeah. Hi, you.
You hear me all right?
Yeah.
Right. Put your right hand over...
I can't, they're not at all anywhere near my eyes.
Okay. You need to come down a bit.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, much better.
Andy James is the first to try out the night vision goggles and get used to their strange monochrome image.
And then this one here to adjust distance between the two eyeballs. You want to be looking beyond... Can you see Danebury Hill over in the 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
If you go right 5 o'clock of that, wrong 4 o'clock, what can you see on the edge of the airfield boundary?
A glowing light.
Yeah. Reference the Yankee aircraft, 12 o'clock.
Roger.
Okay, describe the horizon over in your 2 o'clock.
From left to right, coming down from where the light is in the distance. Coming down. Gently coming down till it's more or less flat.
Right, you can see a car going away in the 12 o'clock left to right. Yeah. Beyond that is the railway, and beyond that, pylons. Okay, bug's gone, climbing. Positive application of power, no bug gone, so coming back on the stick to increase rate of climb. Alright?
You all of a sudden have got every minute of your day basically taken up. You're starting early and finishing later. And you can come back at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, land, get to bed by 2, have to be back by 8 to go flying again. And you think, oh God, and you start complaining, but you look at it, you think, what the hell am I complaining about? I want to be an army pilot, I've got to do this work. You know, we've just got to face facts, and if you want to do it, you're going to have to crack on.
Have a look at the road just coming underneath us now. Just coming in from your right-hand side with the houses on it. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a river.
It could be a river, I was going to say.
It is a river.
Yeah. It's really, really strange. You leave here and everything's, you know, green. And even though the sort of light levels are quite low, it was, the image we got on the you know, the MVG goggles was quite good actually. I mean, it was amazing. There's no way you'd catch me at 200 foot without those things on now. I mean, that was, there's something actually.
Okay, just drifting backwards slightly. And look underneath the goggles. And I want your real first reaction. Look underneath the goggles now.
you can't see Shaggle.
It's the end of the first week on the advanced phase. With their new workload, the trainees are relieved just to have got this far unscathed.
Right, just want 2 minutes of your time to talk to you about course spirit. We haven't seen any. Last night, or this morning's duty student, didn't get back to bed till 1:30. Alright, because he was on one of the later night flying slots. Yet there were 4 people who could have quite easily got hold of the programmes and sorted it out. Corporal Le Cornu was poring over a map, having a few problems with the planning. How many of you helped him? Exactly. Think about it over the weekend, alright? You're all in this together, you're not 9 individuals.
Thanks, Duff.
Second part of our IAF Plan Docs group.
Up till now they've been individuals and they've got one instructor and they've got a syllabus to do and they get on with it. Whereas now the pressure is up for some of them and they've got to start working together. I'm just trying to help nip a few problems in the bud so that they can, you know, get a bit of team spirit going, which hasn't been apparent so far.
The trainees have taken Nick Warmby's advice and are out on a social night with their instructors. First stop, the local bowling alley.
How's your school doing?
We're doing well, actually. We're beating you.
Shall we look again?
We're beating you. You're nearly at the end of your... Oh, no. Oops. No, maybe not.
My kid.
It's a chance for everyone to forget about flying and unwind after the demands of the first week.
Oh, I don't believe it. Here's there, Will. People need to stick together and work as a course. And I think he assessed that too many people were getting too stressed and working for themselves. And it really needed somebody at this early stage to come in and say, you lot, get a grip, sort your lives out, or, you know, you're going to fall apart. He's got it as well.
It's possible that we've all sort of been mulling over our own feelings about this particular phase. And I think basically what he was trying to do was get us to all pull together and talk it over amongst each other rather than go our separate ways. I'm glad he's put pressure on it.
Have we actually got to drink these? My toast! Gentlemen! Gentlemen! The call! Hoorah!
Into the second week of the advanced phase, and the pressure of flying days and nights is taking its toll. Corporal Marcus Locke is the first to suffer. His instrument flying is becoming less and less accurate.
Finished here about 1:10 last night. Obviously I've got to bed about 2ish in the morning. I was picking up 6 o'clock this morning. On snacking.
He's experiencing problems with being able to think while he's flying, and unfortunately today he broke down that and was unable to fly the aircraft accurately whilst he was in cloud. So I'm afraid today he's failed the flight and going to have to do some more remedial training in making himself more aware and visualising what's happening to him whilst he is flying in cloud.
It's not easy. I don't think it's easy, so I'm sure a lot of other people will say it is, but I think it's hard.
Since starting on this advanced training, does it feel like things have changed a lot?
Yeah. Stress factor's gone up with about 100%.
He's using probably he should be using about 80% of his brain flying the aircraft and leaving some spare capacity to think about the instructions given to him from air traffic control and where he is in time and space. And unfortunately, Corporal Locke now is working to almost 100% in flying the aircraft, and there's very little space left to appreciate what's happening around him.
I think I lack confidence, so I always put myself down. So that doesn't really help. So, that goes, isn't it? Life's a bitch.
The thing, the map itself goes.
Having failed his latest sortie, Marcus will be called in to see the flight commander, Nick Warmby.
Hasn't been going as well as it could have been. I've been speaking to Captain Thorne. We've given you right until the last day at the end of the week to try and sort out a few problems you've been having. Our main concerns are division of attention problems and recall. But you're not reaching those. What we're going to do is give you 5 hours flying to get you back online. Alright? Happy with that, or as happy as you can be. Alright? You've got 5 hours now. That's a lot of flying. Right? Great. Cheers. Cheers, good luck.
Okay, sir. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Thanks.
Marcus Locke is now on review. He'll do an intensive course of instrument flying day and night. This will be his chance to catch up with the others.
Departure Barnet. Okay? That's it.
He knows he'll have to improve quickly to make the grade, otherwise he'll be off the course.
Nice and close, a good height and a good hover speed.
At night he doesn't need blinkers and a screen. His vision is impaired enough. For the first 150 feet he uses a landing lamp. Then it's lights off and instruments only.
You look at the instruments. From the instruments you recognise what's there and throw that around in your head for however long it takes. And that information is going to be passed on to your hands and feet, etc. to actually be able to do something about it.
All clear round to the left. Okay, sir.
I was looking at one instrument and trying to correct that one, and by the time I corrected that, the others were going. So rather than looking at all of them and going, okay, yeah, pull a bit of power, change my attitude, and then try and sort it out gradually, I was trying to get, okay, that one's done, oh no, that one's gone, that one's gone, oh no, that one's gone. And so I wasn't recognising it within time.
234 at Southgate, changing Saltwick. 54 Portland 1001. 1001, 334.
Marcus Locke still can't master instrument flying. After 5 poor review flights, he's run out of time.
I've enjoyed all the flying. I found some of it very hard, and the instrument flying I just struggled on from the beginning. But everyone struggles on something, I suppose, but I just couldn't get over it. And it even gave me extra 5 hours to try and sort it out, but it didn't make any difference. I was sort of borderlining all the time, sort of getting browns. I've probably got browns virtually on all those flights, so I was sort of below average all the way through on instrument flying. So I just couldn't do it.
Have a seat. Take your hat off and relax. You remember right at the beginning of the course, I warned you that when it came to making a decision about, how long you were going to stay here, it fell upon my shoulders to actually make the final decision. So what we've got here this morning to tell you is that I'm going to have to suspend you from flying training. Okay, that's the bad news over first. So what I want you to do is to go away and come to terms with it, and think about what it is you want to do. And if you spent years and years in Germany, you don't want to go to Germany again, or if you have a screaming desire to go to Gibraltar, whatever it is, let us know, and it's then our job to try and negotiate with PB2 or CMRO, in your case, Infantry Manning and Records, to
I've already thought about it, actually,
get you what you want.
I've already thought.
What do you...
I want to transfer to the Army Air Corps, sir.
Yes. This is tricky.
I mean, I don't mind working on the ground. I mean, that's what
You do?
I mean, I've seen what the Army Air Corps, how it works on the ground. I've worked with quite a few Army Air Corps people from the depot, and it's definitely what I want to do.
Okay.
It was always my other thing in the back of my mind.
Okay.
It's transferred. I'm more than willing to work on the ground.
Right. Well, look, we'll look into that. We'll check it out with our combined Manningham Record Office and let you know.
So,
well, you'd certainly be obliged to take a ground crewman one, do a course, and we'll have to look into this.
Okay, sir.
Thanks very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
8 months of intensive training have ended in failure for Marcus Locke. The best he can hope for now is a transfer as a ground crewman. He shares the news with Bob Weston, his old instructor from basic training.
Could you pop in and see us when you
Yeah, I will.
when you finish?
Yeah, I'll pop straight up as soon as I finish down the bottom.
Yeah.
And give you the.
Yeah. So this is on the IF stage, is it? Or
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I got 5 hours extra on review. I just wasn't improving. Right. I mean, it's not what I can do about it. Right. Except try my hardest, which I did. Obviously.
You did. You obviously did. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I asked about whether I could be back forced, and I asked could I have an extra 5 hours. So what I'm going to do is transfer. Transfer to the Army Air Corps.
That way you show them you've got the right attitude.
Yeah.
We know you've got the right
I mean,
attitude.
I've got quite a lot to offer, realistically, training-wise, and so we shall see.
Would it, in future, when you're on the ground, would it not trouble you to feel that you could have been a pilot and you haven't come short? How can you handle it?
I mean, no, I can handle that. I mean, if I haven't got it, I haven't got it. As long as you clear it up in your own mind, it's all right, isn't it? And obviously, I haven't got it.
You've got the right attitude anyway. I wish you
Cheers, sir. Thanks very much. Cheers.
And do pop in and see us when.
Yeah. Well, I'm going that direction anyway. So.
Right.
Corporal Locke's request for a transfer was turned down by the Air Corps. He'll return to his old job in the infantry and then be posted on to Germany. He'll never get the chance to fly for the Army again. It's another Friday night in Andover, and the corporals from the course are out clubbing. Marcus has gone, but they're determined not to get depressed. They're here to drink and dance. Jim Lecornu lived in the same block as Marcus. He's sorry to lose a friend, but he hopes some good will come from the latest setback.
I think the speed of which Marcus went has suddenly woken everyone up and suddenly realised that, yes, there's still a long way to go, and it can happen so quickly. Now, I suppose it can have one of two effects: either drag the course apart or pull them all together. Provided everyone else gets through the IF phase, I think that in the long run it will be better for the course, as in it will bring the course closer together, definitely.
Unfortunately, everyone else does not get through this phase. Within a week, Jim Lecornu becomes the third casualty of the course. Like Marcus Locke, he couldn't cope with the demands of instrument flying. Ten soldiers started Course 354 in February. 8 months later, only 7 of them remain. These 7 know that the hardest part of the course, their battlefield training, still lies ahead.
Soldiers get a taste of battle.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
This is the story of 10 soldiers with one ambition: to fly helicopters for the Army. After 9 months, Course 354 is well into its advanced phase.
Right, I just want 2 minutes of your time to talk to you about course spirit.
We haven't seen any.
But progress has not been smooth. 3 of the 10 have failed the course, the last 2 within a week of each other. Their departure has sent shockwaves through the group. Who will be the next to go? Course 354 are getting their first taste of battle. They have no firepower themselves, but they're the eyes of the artillery. They're using the helicopter as a platform to observe the enemy. They're now acting as aircraft commanders. They leave the flying to the instructors and concentrate on everything else: the map reading, the radios, and the lookout.
There it is. Left turn shot.
Drop down, sir, please.
Yeah.
When they've located the enemy, they duck out of sight and relay the information back to an artillery command post 10 miles behind the front line. The coordinates are converted into a precise bearing and trajectory. These are then passed on to the gunners.
Formation battery!
18, L42, number 2, load!
32, get load! Take views. Correct. Bearing. Bearing, 6.
155 mils, elevation 317 mils. Number 2, adjust fire.
While the guns are adjusted, the helicopter waits. Corporal Mark Hitch is finding it hard to concentrate on the task. Since the 2 recent departures, he's become preoccupied by failure.
We honestly thought we were going to get through with everyone, and then for Marcus and Jim to go. And it just proved a point. You know, I mean, people have gone. People haven't just... No one's... How can I put it? Some people have failed the course, and they've had to face that decision. I haven't yet, and touch wood. Hopefully I won't have to. But at the end of the day, you've got to resign yourself to the fact that, yeah, anyone could go at the time. It's been proven.
Fire!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mark isn't adjusting well to his new role as aircraft commander. He's meant to be in charge, but he's not talking to his pilot enough or thinking about the dangers of the battlefield.
There it is, 12 o'clock. Right, 2 o'clock.
Got it.
Of the bunker. When he says shot over, that's a cue for you to look at your clock. Okay, that's why he's giving you the time of flight. And you can stay hidden till about 5 seconds or so before, and that's when you want to say, right, let's get up and have a look at it. So at the moment you're staying in full view of the enemy right through.
Okay, sir.
I was giving you a clue earlier when I was counting for you. But you weren't taking any notice, so I shut up.
For Mark, the pressure of constant assessment and feedback is becoming oppressive. He's losing his enthusiasm for flying.
It's a year-long course. You can generate the self-motivation maybe for a month, 2 months, and then when you keep doing the same stuff over and over again, what might seem to you going over and over it again, but it's just honing your skills or honing the way that you're doing it, and they're just trying to get the best out of you, then it does become a bit, not tedious, but put a lot of pressure on yourself to get it right, and it just goes on from there.
The trainees are on the move. For the first time, they're leaving the familiarity of southern England and travelling northwest to Wales. They're heading for Snowdonia. If they're to become army pilots, they must be able to fly in any terrain. And Snowdonia has everything: mountains, valleys and bowls. They'll spend the next 3 days here learning to fly in unfamiliar conditions. Captaincy and judgment will be at a premium. For those who perform well, the prize is a solo sortie, a chance to fly through the valleys on their own. One by one, the trainees arrive at Llanbedr. This will be their base for the next 3 days.
Okay, take the rope.
Yeah.
Get it through that hole there.
They're already facing their first problem, the wind. It's coming down off the mountains, blowing 35 knots, stronger than anything they're used to.
You know, as I came over the River Severn down, like an elevator lift going down. I was looking for all these whales, but I couldn't see them. There was just like ground and no whales at all.
I was mostly disappointed.
Yeah, I know.
Well, as soon as I knew where I was, although I was sitting in the back and I had the map, and I didn't have a map or anything. Obviously, it was quite easy to find out where you were when you get into 7.
Yeah, but there weren't any whales,
It just
were
looked
they?
the same. I got there, I just went
Features and then whales.
I thought I'd just give up trying to work out where we go.
There you go, there you go.
Welcome to Wales.
You find out why so many Welshmen are living in England.
Why can't they shoot in Wales?
The last to arrive in Wales is Mark Hitch. He turns up half an hour late, having had a bad flight. He was cruising at the wrong speed, he missed several radio calls, got lost en route, and was overtaken by 2 other helicopters. The instructors are now seriously worried about him.
So we came over the Severn Estuary looking for these whales and I couldn't see anything. It's like open ground.
We went straight in, well, just about to go into line zone with no RT call whatsoever. Visualisation, again, very poor join here, very pointy, strong winds. He just wasn't aware of the wind, and I had to prompt him to check the windsock.
And these are basic things. That's basic road trip.
I know, that's the concern. His eyes are fixed ahead, and I talked to him. It can be anything from talking about what he did at the weekend, just to try and relax him a touch, to offering him a mint. He just, it's like, Corporal Hitch, hello, wake up. But he is improving very slowly, because I think he realised he has essentially has a nice set of hands. Like his landing here in gusty winds was quite nice. The set task of, right, land me here, he can cope with. It's expand it that he can't. You ask him for periphery aviation knowledge, he's having difficulty with at the moment. He doesn't like responsibility, doesn't like it.
However much we like him as a person, you know, we are not making pilots anymore, we're making potential aircraft commanders. So the upshot is he is not to go solo. Now, how do we handle that? Do we lay the cards on the table and tell him? Do we let him get on with the mountains as it is and put it down to the weather? I don't think many of them are going to be going solo. And wait until we speak to the boss when we get back.
I'm working on his confidence now, and it is improving at a very slow rate. If we tell him now that he's not going solo, and the weather does come good tomorrow and everyone else goes solo, and we say it for those reasons, then his confidence will start coming down a few pegs. If we hit him with the full and honest truth now, then we are seeing, potentially we are seeing a drop in his confidence.
Should you go to the south of wherever it's going? No, it's stupid on an
The next morning, the trainees get their first proper look at the mountains. They're learning to use the wind by riding the updrafts and avoiding the downdrafts. It's very different from flying around Middle Wallop, their base in Hampshire.
I think the first thing that hits you is you think, you know, epic scenery, and it's, you know, I was sort of looking around thinking, wow.
We are quite high, believe it or not. I reckon we're about 200 feet, 250 feet above the landing point.
Yep, looks pretty a lot lower than that, doesn't it?
Yep, it does. So it could be deceptive. Okay?
The most difficult thing in the area is to control your height because the updrafts of the air and everything. Pitch settings that you normally feel might not actually work. You have to look inside to the radar climb and descent indicator to actually get an idea of what's going on.
Okay, there's a bit of turbulence coming off the top.
I
anything we can't handle. Oh, nice and gentle, there we go.
It's great fun, but also, you're aware of the fact that it's, potentially very dangerous.
Come a bit further forward, sir, and establish. I'll row the top of the pinnacle, please.
The trainees are taught to respect the mountains and think about safety at all times.
Who's flying the aeroplane? Is the aeroplane flying you, or are you flying it?
Oh, I'm flying the aeroplane. It feels...
Pick a point on the ground and shoot your approach at it.
It's a totally new ball game compared to what we're all used to. Like back in Middle Wallop, if the engine's going to stop, you're basically going to land on something which has got the surface of a bowling green. Whereas up here, all you've got is these nice crunchy rocks sticking everywhere. You've got to be very careful and very precise in where you're going to go at all times. And a lot of the time, you're actually putting yourself in a situation where the best you're going to get out of an engine failure is to sort of crawl from the wreckage at the bottom of the valley.
The wind can make such a difference to what you're doing, and you really got to think about where it's coming from, what it's likely to be doing. No two approaches are the same, obviously, because with the valleys and everything else that's around coming over the ridges, there's a lot for us to think about.
Use that backdrop technique, that's good. Come down a bit.
It's very strange, you look at the map and you can see how high these things are, and they're quite impressive. But scale and so on is very difficult to assess. You're flying over something and it doesn't look very big at all, and you work out how high it must be. It's quite awkward, little white dots that are the sheep on the side to try and give you an idea of scale. So they're pretty awesome, actually.
Bit of height loss there, noticed.
Well, why was that?
Not bringing in the collective and not keeping an eye on my instruments.
I have control.
You have control.
Instruments.
The trainees spend the rest of the day flying different sorties.
See where you're actually going.
They return to Llanbedr aware of how small and vulnerable a helicopter seems, surrounded by mountains.
Okay.
You have control.
I have control.
Okay, starting off with the vector diagram, first thing, is everybody happy with what a vector is?
No.
You was begging.
Back at the hotel, the day ends in a makeshift classroom.
Before we start, just to get back to basics, starting off with an incredible drawing of an aeroplane.
The trainees are now expected to give lectures while the instructors sit back and watch.
Alright, so you've got the relative airflow coming down.
This one is being given by Corporal Nigel Harrison, his reward for flying the worst sortie of the day.
Increase the pressure.
Like Mark Hitch, Nigel is losing ground to the others. But in his case, it's a problem of overconfidence. As a former air crewman, he thinks he knows it all, and he's not trying hard enough.
And I'll explain this best.
Corporal Harrison obviously arrived up from basic rotary, not starring, but obviously didn't have too many problems down there. When he got up to here, he started all right, but we've reached a point where he stopped progressing. It sort of went through steady progress to slow progress to zero progress, to the point that his last trip, he was actually having to have a whole bunch of things retaught to him, which we don't have time to do at this stage of the game.
A line? A dotted line?
Corporal Hitch and Corporal Harrison have handled it in different ways.
Okay, so
Corporal Hitch has withdrawn into himself a little bit and started to put the barriers up, whereas Corporal Harrison, to a certain extent, has tackled it aggressively and stepped forward to give an outward impression of still being in control.
Okay, excuse the use of non-colour.
We're still a fair way from the end, so we have got time to, teach him. That's what we're here for. But the ultimate shove is going to come from him.
On the last day in Wales, the weather has closed in. It's still possible to fly, but no one will be going solo today.
You could also then work out from the
The instructors are confident they can sort out Nigel Harrison's problems.
Right, yeah.
And if you can actually come in from here...
They're hoping that extra tuition from the Flight Sergeant Major will cure his complacency and bring him back into line.
slightly oblique to it, and just assess the drift.
But with Mark Hitch, they're more worried. He's becoming increasingly withdrawn.
Right. All clear left. Clear left. He's just the one.
They've given him a different instructor today who'll try and help him relax, if possible. At the same time, Nick Warmby and Sean Dufficy are ringing their senior officer to relay their worries about Corporal Hitch.
He's an unhappy teddy bear at the moment. Yeah, without doubt. I've spent near an hour with him in the hangar, talking through it. He's at max capacity for lots of reasons. And it goes right back to chipmunks. It goes a long way back. It is snowballing and it's getting worse, and he has one last chance just to chill out a bit.
Okay, let's transition directly head into wind. All clear left and above. All clear left and above. All clear right and above. And could you have a quick temperatures and pressures check, please? I'll be looking, yeah, maybe that's good inside. I'm transitioning. Good. Easy peasy Japanese, eh? Mark? Yeah. Okay, let's go around to the right.
I know, he did say in the hangar yesterday, most miserable time of my life, and that's a quote. Which I find very sad when this is going to be his career, you know, his vocation in life. I've already mentioned that to him. I said that he needs to go and talk to someone professionally about this he's building up all his pressure and all his stress on the inside. But the thing is, his attitude is excellent. He's a hard grafter. He works bloody hard.
All clear to the left to land. Well clear left. All clear to the right. Check disc clearance left, please. Yep, it's all clear. Wicked. Great. Okay, let's go back out then. No problem there, was there? No. I personally think the bowl's the best fun of all of them. Sadist. Yeah.
No matter how hard the instructor tries, Mark won't be drawn into conversation. He refuses to unwind. His senior officers have decided he now needs to seek medical help.
Right, grab a seat. No. No? Listen, this is not as bad as it's going to seem, alright? There is... Grab a seat, relax, chill out. We're going to have a chat, nothing more. There is nobody on this course at the moment who want to get their wings more than you. Right? Why? Because I like you, because you are the most reliable NCO on this course, you get things done, you're mature, sensible, and you work hard. However, at the moment we're getting the impression that you're not enjoying it. You've got to meet us halfway. Captain Duffy says that you actually said this is the most miserable time in your life.
You're not handling the pressure. You just completely lock in. And I've told you this, you know, this is nothing new to you, is it? You know, it's we've tried to solve this, what, 2 weeks now? 3 weeks now? The thing is, I think you've got the potential to do it. I think you can if you can handle your stress and your pressure, that you're self-inducing. It's not me. I don't think I'm putting you on under unfair or excessive pressure and stress in any way.
And most instructors you've flown with being fairly relaxed and very fair. Are we looking at an instructor change? Are we looking at take time out and start again? Are you enjoying it? Say what you think.
College.
After an hour, the meeting ends. Mark has agreed to see an army doctor to talk over his problems. That evening, the whole course leaves Snowdonia and returns to the flat pastures of Hampshire. Their first taste of mountain flying is over. Back at the base, the coursework continues, but Mark is sent straight to the medical centre. The doctor rules that he's too stressed to fly and should be grounded for the time being.
A lot of the students haven't been in jobs before where they are assessed on a daily or twice daily sometimes basis. They haven't been tested in such a way before. They haven't been asked as much before, and they find it quite difficult to come to terms with that, getting up every day and knowing that somebody is going to be looking critically at their performance. Once somebody is under that kind of stress, they tend to try and compensate by spending more time studying and checking and practicing, and that can lead to a vicious circle until one may get to the point where somebody's spending their whole time completely devoted to the pilot's course to the exclusion of all else, and that is an unhealthy state of affairs.
Mark has been told his flying is good enough to get him through the course, but if he wants to carry on, he'll have to adopt a more positive approach. He's been given 3 days to make up his mind. Does he really want to become an army pilot? After a long weekend, Mark has made his decision. He's agreed to stay on. He's still uncertain about flying, but having spent 10 months on the course, he doesn't want to throw it all away now.
It's not just a 6-week course in the army, it's a year. And if you didn't want it, it's a year out of your life. A year's a long time anyway. I tend to just crack on and do the work and try and do the best. Take one exercise after another, one lesson after another. But no, just battle on. I've had down points. He wasn't.
Are you on a down or on an up?
Level. Flat landing.
While Mark flies off, the fate of the other problem trainee is also being decided. Nigel Harrison hasn't responded to the extra tuition he received in Wales. Now more drastic action is required.
I've been back course to the course behind ours for a number of reasons. Basically they feel that those reasons can be resolved with an extra 6 weeks consolidation of basically what we've just done. Not a nice feeling. It feels like somebody just kicked you in the crotch with the old proverbial size 9s. But at the end of the day, it has given me a second crack at the whip, if you like. So just going to have to knuckle down and get on and show that I can do it. We have spent 10 months as a course together. You get to know the guys really well. You sort of set up a little rapport with them and all the rest of it. So it's going to be difficult, obviously, seeing them go through, finish the course, get their wing, go on the wings parade. But it's just a case of get on and do the best from now on.
Nigel Harrison will have to leave 354, redo 6 weeks' work and continue his training with course 355. The instructors are hoping that this will be enough of a shock to change his attitude and work harder at his flying. Only 6 of the original 10 trainees on course 354 have made it to the Christmas break.
Right, all I want to say is, well done. You've all passed phase 1 and 2. Going to sea flight, only advice I can give you is everything we've taught you here, stick to the basics. Fly the aircraft.
In the new year, 354 will start the final tactical phase of their training with a new flight commander. This is Nick Warmby's chance to say goodbye.
JP, you need to carry on as you did in your PhD and stay flexible.
For you, you're going to have to start shaving off the corners of your deliberateness. For you, Bob, still think you could do a little better on the captaincy side. Your map reading is going to be your big strength. For you, make sure you're always perfect. Your handling pilot is always perfectly clear what you want from him. Yeah. At times, you know what you want, and you can fly it yourself. But you've now got to start communicating it to him and going, "Oi, do this." And for you, Jenny, just the assertion side of it again, as with Brom. You can do it, and you're still being taught when you get up there. Yeah. So how does it feel to have 6 weeks to go? 4 weeks flying? What do you reckon, Colonel Hitch?
I reckon we should ban leave, sir. We should all stay behind. And more flying. It's too easy, sir. I've been watching Renaissance.
Nick Warmby will be starting with a new group of trainees after Christmas. But before he's finished with 354, he has one more duty to perform.
You want some sacks, mate?
Sacks? Yeah.
Nick and his roommate Charlie are the star attraction at the officers' Christmas ball.
5 months pregnant.
Christmas.
Well, they are. It's a hidden secret.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. Otherwise, all the little kiddies around the UK will be going berserk. I want to get a middle wallet. I want to get a middle wallet. That's what Santa lives.
Take me to the School of
Take me to the School of Aviation.
That's where Santa Claus lives. We're coming up to Christmas now. As soon as they get back, it's going to be a completely different world from them. New flight commander, new instructors, and essentially a new environment. They are purely into the tactics and the operational flying. So leading up to Christmas leave, this is really the last time they've got to let their hair down. And if they don't, they'll go mad.
After 10 months, the trainees know the end is in sight. But before they can look ahead to the Wings Parade, they'll have to pass the final hurdle, their toughest test yet. They have to take their helicopters into a tactical war zone.
I feel better than good. Better than good? Yes, which is a lot better. What would you like for Christmas? A nice one, please. A nice one? Sound Pilot's Wings? I love that. No, 2 homes. Say that again. Happy Christmas. Say that again. Thank you, Santa.
Next week, the Flying Soldiers are back at their usual time of 9:30. And coming up next tonight on BBC One, Euro 96.
3 funerals here on BBC One in half an hour, a nail-biting climax in the final episode of Cardiac Arrest. Before that, it's make or break for the Flying Soldiers, and that means war.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
This is the story of 10 soldiers with one ambition, to fly helicopters for the army. After 11 and a half months, course 354 is nearly at an end.
Right, 2 o'clock, got it.
4 would-be pilots have failed the training and had to return to their old units.
Everything we've taught you here, stick to the basics.
Now the 6 who remain are just one step away from their wings. But their toughest test is still to come. It's an early wake-up for course 354. They've swapped their base in Hampshire for the barracks of Fremington. They're here to fight a war.
Uncle Rooney.
Awake.
Another day.
So who are you at war with?
I'd have to tell you, but then we'd have to kill you. They say it's all top secret and classified and shit, man. Yeah. They invade Cornwall every 6 weeks. Still can't beat us.
Citizens of Britain, our shores have been breached by an invasion force from Ormidia. The Prime Minister called it a naked act of aggression and has promised to fight back and repel these most unwelcome invaders.
Course 354 have been given the ultimate task to defend the realm against the forces of Ormidia, an imaginary socialist republic untouched by the end of the Cold War. The Ormidians, equipped with Soviet arms, have waged war on Britain. Now it's 354's task to stop them.
Following a series of battles during the night, the enemy has failed to make further progress through 2RGJ area. Mission: to report enemy in the forward battle group areas in order to assist in building an intelligence picture. Just look up a second.
The exercise is treated as a real wartime operation. The trainees have been given the job of finding the Ormidians and tracking their movements as they make their advance from Cornwall into Devon.
At bingo fuel, then recover back to the squadron location using the reverse of the route out.
Yeah, that's right.
Having received their orders, the trainees work out the best route to the front line. They're looking for positions where they'll be able to observe the enemy without being observed themselves.
Follow along the edge of the river to there. Yeah, but getting to that one, you've got that big high pit thing there.
Right, from here, you've got a re-entrant running off. Range about 500 metres, you've got a brownfield with scrub on it.
The trainees are no longer piloting the helicopters, they leave that to their instructors. They're now commanding the aircraft, directing every aspect of the mission. They have to stay as low as possible, under the radar horizon.
And height below 150 feet. Roger.
They're operating in pairs. Corporal Mark Hitch is on patrol with Lieutenant Jenny Firth.
So should have a road coming in on the right down here. So where that bar is.
By the barn, yeah.
Yep. From there onto a heading of 155, please.
155, roger.
Still saying please. Stop it.
What we're trying to depict is a tactical exercise away from Middle Wallop, so that the students get used to operating in a new area that is totally unfamiliar to them, and in a setting that also will be unfamiliar to them.
Okay, now I have to admit here, I know we're going in the right direction, but I'm not quite sure where we are.
Roger.
So if we maintain, then, well, we'll get to the river, the main river. I know we haven't got any ADAs that we should hit, having set up on 100.
Map reading at 50 feet and below is extremely testing, because every valley looks like each other. And we have to tell them that to go back to basics in low-level map reading. And that is a lesson that comes out certainly on day 1 and day 2 of every course that comes down here.
Keep your map down as well, because you're blocking out half my cockpit view. Hold the damn thing down, you could sleep under it at the moment. It's climbing slightly. We've got to cross these pylons now, have we? 12 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay. These are the sort of things I need to know, you see.
Deep in the heart of Devon, the enemy waits. 2 Land Rovers and a truck representing the Ormidian forces. This enemy has the unusual advantage of being able to listen in as the pursuers track them down. Once the Ormidians have been correctly identified, they'll acknowledge the sighting, and the mission will be over. But that's easier said than done. Mark Hitch is struggling to find a position where he can see the target area without revealing himself to the enemy.
The left 11 o'clock, you've got 2 prominent like dead trees on top of the ridge line there.
Yeah.
Can you move up to that area there, please?
Don't get tunnel vision, remember. Okay, look out. Look at the wider picture. All right. What's the problem at the moment?
It's quite exposed down the 12 o'clock.
Yeah. If you put us up on there, what is that
Even
going
more
to do to us?
exposing us.
Can you see the target on the heading at the moment?
243. Okay, come on to a heading about 243.
Hold on. What I'm trying to do here is sort of give you an idea. You cannot see even the area that you're looking for, can you? Because there is another spur feature between us and the enemy. So for me to move up to the trees to the left, or us to move up to the trees to the left, it's going to do absolutely no use at all, is it? So what do you think we've got to do now?
Move up.
We've got to move forward, haven't we, at some point?
We sat for a long time in a piece of dead ground, looking across another piece of dead ground at another hill, which is absolutely useless, really. Okay? The point we ended up in was far too close to the enemy. So, on that side of life, you got suckered forward. All right? We were probably within about 1,500 metres. So, somebody with a Kalashnikov, and who was a good shot, could probably take you out of that distance. Another method of possibly achieving this mission? Mum? You piped up on the radio with it. Sounded a very gutsy move.
If you look at the map, you can see that the valley that we were down had a river there, and the enemy were in this area here, and there's another river going up to the northeast.
Okay.
So, I hope just to take them by surprise and going very fast and very low, and have the person on the right-hand side looking out.
Okay. So what would the command and control aspects of that be?
Limited.
So what you've got to ask yourself is, who's going to do it?
Who do you want to risk?
Exactly, and how are you going to do it?
Yeah.
So you've got to know, through your mission analysis, whether the CO, or in particular the divisional commander, is willing to risk you and £1 million worth of helicopter to get that information. So this is something you've got to assess in your mission analysis, yeah? How expendable you are, for want of a better word. We're expendable the same as any other soldier on the battlefield.
The next pair on patrol are faring no better.
Where are we at the moment? So Charlie gets it.
Second Lieutenant Andy James is lost. Operating at low level, it's easy to lose your bearings.
5330.
To make matters worse, Andy is tuned in to the wrong frequency and has lost radio contact with his partner, Corporal David Rooney.
249, prepare, move to uniform.
Where is it? 5330.
Corporal Rooney's instructions are falling on deaf ears. Andy can hear nothing but interference.
59.
249, acknowledge. Distance is in Strawbridge.
Hang on, let me just see the map. Just take 1 second out. 533. That's not 059. Let's get the right grid plotted. Just slow up a bit, get the grid.
Corporal Rooney can only wait for Andy to sort out his problems and resume the mission.
And off he goes. He's pulling himself back off the high ground to get himself a route out. Yeah, I'd like them to acknowledge them. Remember that view of the debrief. Hello?
Eventually, Andy manages to regain radio contact and the patrol is back on track. But now the Ormidians give him something else to worry about.
November 30 Nava.
They've launched a simulated air-to-air attack. When Andy gets the message, he has to take immediate evasive action.
There's planes all over the second phase. Right, get low, get on the deck. Going on the deck. Call him, telling you going on the deck. Coming to stop, hold the deck, hold firm. There's no on our right hand down the right. Fighting out to the north.
An aircraft under attack should get down as low as possible and take cover. Andy has managed this, but not quickly enough. Corporal Rooney's helicopter has been hit and suffered casualties. Andy must now assume control.
And we'll contact the 0. Hang on, forget that. He's been hit. We'll have to take it back. Patrol commander, what are you going to do about it? Take it back to the Phil Hoster on our way there anyway. Carry on, pilot's capable. Tell him to follow. Are you able to follow? Roger, one charge on the outside. Stay there.
By the end of the afternoon, The patrol returns to base without having found the Ormidians.
Ship notes 19015.
Andy's poor planning and radio work are being held to blame. The instructors are now concerned about him. This was his second mission of the day, and he's shown no signs of improvement.
He just got totally bogged down. Everything just went out the window. We got more or less lost. We didn't know where we were. Tactics were a non-event. Radios were a non-event, and the whole thing just really came to a grinding halt. So we came home. But I think he can do it, but he needs to buck up.
Right, I had three of them this afternoon, and for a supporting man, he was not pulling out the stops. He needs to get a lot more fiery, needs to be a lot more with it. He tends to just sit back, and you'll concur from earlier, he tends to just sit back and allow the situation to wash over him. So I'll be looking for him tomorrow when he reflies as the commander to demonstrate quite a lot more aggression than General Spark. He's had a very comprehensive debrief off the last patrol, both from the patrol commanders and my point of view, and he should have a reasonably good idea of where he's got to go. So he's certainly not firing on all the cylinders at the moment.
Is that one of yours? That's yours.
The course is almost over, but it's never too late to fail. Even at this stage, people have been chopped from the course. For Andy, another bad flight tomorrow, and he'll be in serious trouble.
So it's been a bad day, is it?
It's alright, it's one of my better ones. Should I say, it's very hard work. It's all good and well getting everything sorted or thinking you've got everything sorted, but finding out when you get out there that you haven't quite. It's quite hard work. Planning side, you think you got squared away, and then you realise you've actually not really, because you've forgotten about 50,000 things that perhaps you should remember to do. So yeah, it's hard, and it's quite annoying when you can learn a lot of things, but it's quite irritating to do badly, or not do particularly well. I wouldn't say badly. I'm just not happy with the way it's gone today. I hate having shit days. Should be alright tomorrow.
And following the road up to the left, the first IP is the high ground.
Andy James knows he's on trial. He's been put in charge of his patrol today, and he's trying hard to impress.
Exploit 200 metres to the right. Hang on. Right, 10 o'clock. Get one figure on to the left. 10 o'clock. Right, coming into our 12 o'clock wood line. High ground is our OP position.
Right, can you still see where we are? Yes, we can. That's fine then.
Give it a push. We've got the main roads. Got a pylon.
According to the scenario, the Ormidian advance has been halted. Now the counter-attack can begin. The trainees have no weapons themselves, but they'll direct the artillery offensive.
Trying to give them some space. Roger. Right, move forward to the hedge line between these two trees. I can't see anything because they're obscured by the trees.
After 40 minutes on patrol, Andy has guided his helicopter within 2 miles of the Ormidian lines. If he's got his map reading right, he should be able to see the enemy from here.
5 at the moment. Roger. Looking for the high ground.
To scan the horizon, he uses a gyro-stabilized periscope mounted on the roof of the cockpit.
All the way around to the right.
Andy's spotted some vehicles in a distant lay-by. It may be the Ormidians, so he switches to high magnification to get a better look.
Climb 2, up to 2. What's happening? Hello, Hotel 2, 0 sighting, wait out. Right, we've got a sighting in Portland.
Thanks for telling me.
Roger, sighting, it was in our 12 o'clock reference, tell them, reference wood. Sighting. Roger, he's got a sighting. Reference wood, 200 metres to the left,
guess that means we must be somewhere near the correct area, hey?
Absolutely.
Andy has successfully located the enemy position, so he calls up the artillery unit to launch an attack on the Ormidians.
Ah, right, okay. I've just been speaking to... Hello, X-ray, I want that 0, this is Golf 43 Foxtrot, fire mission battery, over. I'm getting nothing.
But he has a new problem. His radio has gone down again, and he can't make contact with the gunners.
310, this is your rear check, over.
It takes Andy 5 minutes to reroute his radio message through another command post. On a real battlefield, 5 minutes lost at this stage could be critical.
Move forward. Hold firm, hold firm. Holding.
Artillery shells should now be destroying the enemy target. But this is an exercise, and the shells are all imaginary.
I suppose. I can see that.
Andy has to make do with his instructor's assurances.
Right, tree rolling. Okay, I think we can effectively say that we've stomped that lot nicely. We're on task elsewhere now, so roger.
X-ray 1, 0, this is Golf 43, a Foxtrot, a target destroyed, end of mission, over.
For Andy, the flight has been a definite improvement. He didn't get lost this time, and he managed a successful fire mission, despite the radio problem.
No, it went alright, I suppose.
Yeah, that was alright. The actual recce, but we couldn't get comms either when we tried to send a...
No, I went for zero again. This guy asked you to do it, so I went for zero again.
So the guns went listening out.
That was fun, that was.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that.
You could see that you were working at it and persevering. He was really, really trying to help you. The stuff he was saying to me, I'm going, no. We tried all frequencies for Hotel 20, didn't we?
Every time I felt so embarrassed. I think I'm such a biff because like every time they'd go shot over and I'd go shot out, or I wouldn't quite hear it and stuff, and they'd go, hello, Golf 43 Foxtrot, this is 0 from Hotel 20, ready over, and I'd go ready for over.
I think it's been a very successful exercise, and I believe that actually the students have learnt an awful lot in really what is very testing countryside.
Do they pick up a tactical awareness here?
They are beginning to. Bearing in mind this is very early in their flying career, all we're trying to do is just to give them a feel for what it is like in a squadron life, within the resources that we have available at the School of Army Aviation.
And how's the war gone?
I think we won.
The Ormidians have been defeated. Course 354 have thwarted their invasion of Britain. Before any of the trainees command a helicopter in a real war zone, they'll have to do more specialist training. But this has been their first taste of wartime tactics, and despite the problems, they've survived. They leave Devon knowing that the hard work is behind them. They've completed the most critical test of the course. Back at base, the trainees land for the last time. They'll have a final debrief to find out their grades, then that's it. 12 months of intensive training are over.
So, the beers tonight then?
Andy James has just had his debrief and been given the good news.
Yeah, congratulations mate, it was a good one.
He's only achieved an average pass, but it's a pass. He's qualified as an army pilot.
Excellent. Well done mate, good effort sir.
Yeah, good effort. Thanks. Hey, a pilot.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's good.
So, you made it?
I have. Kind of. I don't know. It hasn't really sunk in yet. It's only been less than an hour, so a relief. That's all I can say.
Good one. Yeah.
I know people can look around and say, yeah, you give the attitude that you know, you're very blasé and you're a bit of a hoorah and, you know, completely wrong attitude. But at the end of the day, looking back, it meant more than anything to me to pass this. You know, and it was a bloody long course, and it was, you know, something from a year ago you're looking to, seeing people pass out thinking, oh, am I ever going to get there? And to eventually do it. And, yeah, I think I've grown up a bit, mature attitude.
Mark Hitch has struggled on every stage of the training, but he's defied expectations and made it to the end of the course with a respectable pass.
Well done, Mark.
Stand by, they're letting me loose.
It's all over. It's a relief.
Big relief. Big relief.
It's been a long year.
Yeah, hated it. Hated it all. Anybody want some maps of Wallop? Because I ain't gonna need them ever again. Okay. Every day, for the past year, you've been assessed. Big Brother's always watching. You know, they're always making write-ups about you and looking at what you're doing, how you're doing it.
Good. Well done, Mark.
Which I know everyone feels is one of those things in Middle Wallop. Now I'm going to maybe start enjoying the flying because I'm going to be going to a squadron. I'm not going to be assessed all the time.
Did you always think you're going to get there?
No. Just took each stage as it came. And if you get through the end of phase ride, then all being well, move on to the next phase. Only this time there's no phase to move on to, except leave.
At last, it's the day of the Wings Parade. The day the trainees become pilots. And in their honour, the Chief of the General Staff, the top soldier in the Army, is presenting the awards.
Presentation of wings to 354 Army Pilots Course. Lieutenant Jenny Firth, posted to 3 Regiment Army Air Corps at Wattisham.
Very many congratulations.
Thank you.
That's excellent. Good indeed. How do you find the course?
Very enjoyable.
Quite hard, wasn't it? I think it's very hard work.
Obviously, the immediate future holds going to my new unit and going on exercise pretty sharpish, and then I shall committed to 3 years flying with them, and then a 4th year, which I understand that I may choose to fly in. Although often you're given a desk job for your final year, and that'll take me way beyond the end of my short service commission. So by then I'll become a civvy at the end of it all.
Well done, I'll see you later.
Jenny doesn't see her long-term future as an Army pilot. She'll serve her time and leave.
Corporal David Rooney, Army Air Corps, posted 5...
Others want to spend the rest of their lives at the controls of a helicopter.
Well done. Many congratulations, excellent.
I always wanted to be a professional pilot, now I am. Never wanted to be anything else. Bar a pilot. So, what else is there to do? It's the best job out.
Right. Well done.
Second Lieutenant Andrew James, Army Air Corps, posted 5 Regiment Army Air Corps in Northern Ireland.
Many congratulations. Well done. What are you going to be flying? A Lynx or Gazelle? Gazelle, right? Yes. Where do you do your infantry attachment?
In Northern Ireland, so with the Welsh Fusiliers.
Do you? So you will be there for how long?
I was there for 7 months.
Okay. Congratulations anyhow. Look at the camera. Well done. General Little, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a very great pleasure for me to present the wings and the trophies today to the latest Army pilot's course. I know that to pass the course and graduate as a military pilot, you've had to work hard, you've had to overcome many problems and show considerable single-mindedness and determination. You've achieved a very great deal, and you should be rightfully proud of what you've done.
Right front row. Put your heels together underneath the chairs.
At the start of their training, the 10 members of 354 had their course photograph taken. No one at that stage knew what lay ahead.
Into the lens.
A year later, only 6 have made it to the final photo session. These 6 flying soldiers can now be posted to a war zone anywhere in the world.